Saturday morning cartoons with Pops. Hopefully, you're having a great time. I'm loving Batman animated series, of course. We're rolling on. This is called I Am the Night. It's actually one of the great episodes that really kind of go back to the essence of who Batman is. That whole I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. So it's just very much the late great rest in peace Michael Reeves writes another stellar script that really has a lot of layers in here. I don't even know that I can do it justice, but we're just going to quickly go through it. Then I'm going to pull it up and try to hit a few of the high notes and try to make sure that I don't miss anything that I wanted to touch on. That is that um, it starts with the anniversary of the death of Bruce's parents. Batman's going to go visit with the Roses that he does in Crime Alley. He's sad. He's also frustrated because the newspaper has revealed that the Penguin is going to get released again because of a technicality. And he really is pretty somber about whether or not he's doing the right thing or not. Is there any good? Of course, Alfred is doing his part. He's trying to be assuring, and Batman is just very conflicted. He's like, is there ever going to be an end? Things like that. And I think that this would be the reality for someone that kind of is. And we see this with police. We see this with police officers who are just very frustrated. Maybe they're on a case or a stakeout. And there's a technicality or something help, and they just feel very exasperated by the situation, very let down by the whole process. And is it even worth it? Now, you have this other character that's introduced, and it's sort of it's just a young boy, and it kind of helps give you a little bit of another element of the backstory of what he can and cannot do. And there's a couple of thugs that are involved, and um, you have Batman intervening, and during this process, because Leslie Tompkins is briefly introduced as well, and what ends up happening is during this conflict with Jimmy and these thugs and the wizard and all the stuff that happens, there is some gunplay. And he's late for this police raid that's kind of gone sideways. And Jimmy, this mob boss with Tommy gun, gets some rounds off. And what ends up happening is Gordon is the one that gets hit. And Gordon is really on life support. And Batman is feeling guilty. If he wasn't late, ifs, Barbara Gordon is there. Harvey Bullock, of course, is doing what Harvey always does, and that's hate on Batman. You should have been there. You should have known. Whatever. It's like you don't even want Batman around you, but yeah, it's fine. It's Harvey being Harvey. It's fine. And Batman, he throws a tantrum. He breaks his forensic kit equipment. He throws the cow over the chasm there, right? I thought it was interesting that they kind of had this interesting plot point on why would they want to send Jazzman to Stonegate versus the regular jails being overpopulated and things like that. So it's just a very contrived way of getting the story to go a certain direction, but paying attention to the why. Like, why do you want you needed it to happen for the story, but you also needed to include a reason or a comment to justify it happening. That is good writing, folks. This is why the standard should be so high, is because people like Michael Reeves has done such a great job of setting the standard. The bar is high for a reason. Now, it's been a couple days. Alfred is really concerned about Bruce. He's been moping. He's sad. Gordon is still on death's door. And basically, Alfred calls Dick Grayson in. Dick Grayson comes in, tries to give him a little pep talk, and he's just not having it, man. He's like, I'm a failure. It is what it is. Maybe Batman just needs to go. Maybe that's just it. And people can't die. Like, it's one thing if Batman dies, but it's not good if someone else does. It's unforgivable. And in the middle of all this, the Jazzman, the guy that caused all this, he escapes. There's an escape done through like the laundry bin, typical cliches that we've seen in movies and things like that, right? And Dick goes to see Barbara and Gordon and all of this, but reality is we all know it's Batman that has to do it. But Dick is like frustrated, like nothing's working. I got to do something. So he suits up to be Robin. And then at the last minute, Batman intervenes, says, no, I'll take care of this, which I have to be honest, I didn't really care for that moment. I really kind of wish they had done it together, but it would have taken away from the final conflict. Um, or maybe I think that we could have maybe had a different trigger for Batman to kind of wake up and realize he has to go deal with Jazzman. He has to be Batman. He has to do something. Now, the thing that also is really, really cool is it sets up something that is way before this was so readily and common in different entertainment. And that was there's a slow motion sequence at the end. Jazzman makes his way to the hospital. He gets a shot off, headed into the room where everybody is, and you have a slow motion moment of Batman throwing a batarang at the gun exactly as the round is fired. So everything backfires, destroys the gun, and that leads to the capture right before Gordon wakes up. I really like that. I like that slow motion technique, and it's way ahead of that. That's basically almost been overused now, right? Whether it be bullet time and some of these other different elements, you see that, and here it was done and used so beautifully, way ahead of its time, right? We're talking about like 1993, 1994 when this episode aired. Hold on, let me click my notes. Oh, 92. This was still a 92 episode. We're in November of 92. We're not even out of 92 yet. Holy cow. Lots of Batman. That's so good. Then we get to like the home run for the episode, right? Because you get the Gordon and Batman dynamic. Gordon's like, we have to keep fighting. You can't give up. I want to be like you. You're a hero. And Batman is like, you're the hero. And then what is interesting is because Bruce is recognizing how Thomas Wayne would be about Gordon's age, right? So it's like a dad relationship in some ways, right? And then to really, really hammer home how all of this works and the dynamic of things, Batman bumps into the wizard, right? The kid, and the kid's been reformed now, right? He's got his, Batman at first thinks he's up to no good, but reality is he's got his bag and he's like, no, I actually am glad I ran into you. I want to thank you for setting me right. Because of you, I've turned my life around, and it's like, wow. And you get that little grin. You don't get anything cheesy or cheeky. You don't get a Marvel humor joke or anything like that. You just get good stuff. So let's quickly just throw this up there and maybe hit a few things real quick here. There we go. Throw that over here. Obviously the credits are great. Here's that kid, being the thug or whatever. And then you have this sort of conflict that's breaking out with the raid that's gone awry and Jimmy, firing rounds as Batman is late to the gig. So by the way, this was a really cool. He uses grappling gun to attach to the roof and then scales sideways down the building, throwing the smoke bomb, tear bomb stuff inside. Sure, like to see some of this kind of cool stuff done in a movie, but then he realizes this is Batman realizing that Gordon is the one that was shot. We go to commercial break, right? Again, the cinema feel to everything. It's very cinematic. It's just Batman with that moon in the background, standing over Gordon, and then just moping Batman, just not feeling like it's worth it. And this is him getting out of prison. Dick trying to console him.
Bruce, he knows the risks.
How long before I let someone else I care about down?
See, it's just so good. And Kevin Conroy is just, it's just amazing what he's able to do and bring to life with Batman. And then we get to the sequence, Robin's set to go out. And then, of course, we have the escape before you get to this final sequence at the end with everything. It's very slow motion. See how great that is, how good it was. And the focus is really on Barbara and Gordon being the target. So we don't have like a distraction to everything. And then it's again, grab the batarang and go very, very slow motion in it all. And then of course you have the sequence at the end with the reformed criminal. So anyway, that's my take on it. I am Pops. Hope you're enjoying Saturday morning cartoons. Love hearing from you. Love to hear where you think this may rank in your top 10. I think this is definitely one of those that's top tier for me. I'm going to say bottom of my top 10 kind of thing. It'd be one of those that's kind of in the running for those top lists. I love this. I think that Sometimes the ones that are without the supervillains that really get more into character development, world building, relationship building, those are really more interesting and why hold up so well. Same thing with the comic books. It would be like an in between. It would be an in between issue between a Joker and a Penguin. They would do something that's very grounded in like, a regular crime boss, and it would show something about Bruce versus Batman's struggle, identity issues, family issues, relationship issues, those kind of things. That's where some of the meat and potatoes was to kind of keep you as a reader really involved. Same thing with the show. It does it right here. So works great. Hope you're enjoying this. Have fun. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I am Pops.
We'll be right back. The eyes of justice are watching. It's Batman! The Joker's bombing the Gotham City Bridge.
Skydive Batman's jumping into action.
To his Batmobile as it launches ahead at lightning speed. Oh no, the Jokermobile!
Watch out! Here I go, shooting my mouth off.
Surprise! It's the pursuit jet.
Bombs away.
The eyes of justice, Batman.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
So who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Each sold separately.
Have no fear. Venkman, Seth, and Spangler are here. So are these ghosts. They've got ectoplasm. We've been goofed. Now what? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Let's show this pile of dessert who's boss. Activating Chronoblaster. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Peter Venkman, Ectoplasm, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and other figures each sold separately. Ghostbusters, new from Kenner.
Now be polite when you meet Mrs. Vanderlug, and do as you're told.
Mrs. Vanderlug.
It's time to have some fun.
Come on, down, get cheeses and have a ball. Let's do everything. Do as you're told. Let's jump that way. Jump this goal. Play one more. Jump get cheeses.
Did you mind Mrs. Vanderlug? They did everything they were told.
Where a kid can be a kid.
This is Princess Adora, sister of He-Man, and her gentle horse. Each sold separately, you can pretend.
She's lovely as a flower, but she has a secret power. A magic sword in one stroke, and she's got the strength of a tower. She wrote Princess of Power, but they've got the world in the hands of one beautiful girl. Princess of Power.
She-Ra doll Princess of Power comes with everything you see here. Swiftprint horse sold separately, new from Mattel.
Fox brings you a wild world of adventure.
Take the controls, Webley. I'm getting breakfast.
And excitement.
Yes, it's growing.
Where a sweet talking,
Are we just putting dress-ups? Yeah, that's it.
sharp dressing,
My underpants are on backwards.
totally cool dude
Narrowly picked her nose, but she put it back when she saw that I was looking.
is taking control.
This is my world.
Watch Bobby's World, the fun place to be Saturday morning on Fox. It's wild.